Hey, it's Liam. Today is Sunday, August 6th. It's about 9:30. Back at the beach. In a different part of the beach today. I'm at the north end of the beach where the beach kind of ends, and then there's this like boulder field. And there's also these huge boulders. And then the seawall, which is also a retaining wall for the parking lot that I just parked in. I got a late start today, and I was like, I'm not gonna get on beach. Or I consider this on beach parking, even though it's way up there. I mean, this seawall continues all the way down the sandy beach, but it's just hidden by sand. And you can see there's no sand here, so that's why there's this these boulders to protect the seawall from storms. All this will be underwater in a few minutes. But I got a late start, and I was like, I'm not going to crawl through the back roads, and I drove all the way to the tolls, which I usually skip, and drove to the tolls and took the kind of expressway in. Usually I put the windows down, I slow down, I get some air, you know, beachy kind of stuff. But I was like, I don't have time. I'm not gonna get a parking spot if I dither in Seabrook or Salisbury, so I drove all the way in. And it paid off too. I got one of the last spots. Poor people coming in after us. Waited too long. But it's beautiful again today, hot, sunny, no clouds. Might be a little bit too sunny. Update on the mustache, which you can kind of not really even see. But my mom did finally mention it. She's like, so what's up with the mustache? And I was like, I've just been waiting for you to say something. And that's basically it. I mean, I can't do mustaches. Like I saw, you know, mustaches are, sometimes people look great in mustaches. I'm not one of them. It's all weird. It's just weird. So this will probably be the last time you see it. People who look good in mustaches, like a Star Trek Strange New Worlds, there's James Kirk's younger brother Sam has a great mustache. And it's like, that's a great mustache. I'm gonna try and fail. I'm gonna give up before I get. So it'll barely be gone by the end of the day. It's got like white in it in weird places. It's just like, who did that? It's like, it just looks terrible. So off it'll come. My foot injury, I'm doing like a whole bunch of updates right now. I hurt my foot last video. At the other end of the beach, the tide was in, the rocks were slippery, and I slipped. I didn't slip and fall, but I slipped far enough on a rock that I hit a part of the rock that like tore a bit of the, you know, the skin on your foot's really thick, so you can lose a little bit and you're not gonna die. So it was like that. There was a little bit of blood. Sorry for the warning. No warning. Sorry for no warning, but it wasn't like graphic or horrific. I walked back with the foot in the water, which was cold, which was good for it. It's a public beach, but the water was fairly clean. I got up and back to the truck, which is like a mile and a half away. I put some Neosporin, I cleaned it, I put some Neosporin on it, and I put a sock on and a shoe, and I basically just stayed up on the boardwalk for the rest of the day before I went home, and then you know, gave it a really good cleaning and all that jazz too. Jazz, I say that a lot. I do say that, all that jazz. Jazz hand. So I'm back to the beach. The foot felt fine now. It didn't feel, I could feel it. You know, if you have an infection, like a cut isn't, it's like your whole awareness is of that. And I was just like, I was mowing the lawn yesterday, which is about 3.5 miles. Don't ask me how mowing the lawn turns out to be 3.5 miles, but the tractor said it was 3.5 miles, which is insane. But I really hadn't walked that much during the week because I was worried about the foot. So I realized halfway through mowing the lawn that I didn't even notice the foot. So I was like, I can go to the beach tomorrow. Here I am, 4 minutes in, finally get to today. It's a beautiful day today. Not stressed about traffic. I drove straight in. The traffic's always nice now. I know that there used to be traffic, but I don't know why there isn't now, and I don't want to ask why. I'm just appreciative that there's not a lot of crowds and traffic a lot of places post-COVID. You go into a restaurant, you say, you know, table for whatever, and they say come with me, and they seat you, and you don't really have to wait anymore. Around here you just get seated, and you're like, maybe I came early, but the restaurants never fill up. I mean, it's bad for their business, but it's the service is better. Yeah. especially for, you know, Americans who don't like to wait for things. My sister was up last week. She was up here from Florida last week. My oldest sister went to my middle sister's house. We used her pool. It was nice. She just got new pool liners. So we all went up to see her, and she and my older sister and her daughter flew back to Florida on Friday. They didn't have any issues, but like, just like planning flights, you like plan for the worst too. Like you do direct flights, because if you have any connecting flight, you have to pad it so heavily because the odds of the first flight being delayed, that you really take your entire trip into jeopardy when you try to do a connecting flight now. Oop, everything's crooked. How long has it been crooked? Sorry if it's been crooked. I've been looking at the wall and talking with my hands. All right. And then to have something to be at, like, we have airport tunnel problems in Boston, so there's that, but it's really just getting out right now. It's just getting out of the airport could be a couple hours getting back home, which is insane right now. But you're not going to miss your flight when you know, my sister lands, my mom picks them up, and it takes 2 hours to get back here. My mom drives them back to the airport, you know, in good time, and then my sister and niece catch her flight, and then my mom takes 2 hours to get back. You know, my mom's not going to miss anything. But when you have reservations at resorts and all that stuff, and the risks of missing flights and having delays like that, missing connections, and having like kids in tow. My niece isn't a kid. My niece is in college, and that's how old I am. And I just don't know how people do it, or how they plan all these expensive getaways and have that be put at risk by using an airline to get there. I'm just amazed at the trust that they put into the system. And it could be, like, there's no airline that's immune. Like, tomorrow, it could be an airline that's never had a problem, and their computer systems go down, or their hub is in a place that has thunderstorms and it ricochets across their entire network. You know, eventually the planes get out of position for their schedule. The flight crews and the cabin crews, they expire their working time, and another crew has to be brought in. And I think the executives that run these, they started using the algorithms to optimize profit, and the old padding of the schedule to keep things going just went by the wayside, and now there's no cushion to absorb shocks like this, and the people who have to pay are the travelers. You could say pay with money, but if you're traveling, it's about your time, because you're going from one place to another, and you're taking an airline so that's as fast as possible. And I think it's the airline, the people that run airlines, that are the fault of this, specifically and directly. But they all have to do it now, because if they don't, they'll lose the price war and they'll go out of business, and the one that will win will be the one with the worst service, which is bad. I don't like airlines, and I don't plan to take airlines if I do get another place. It's about being able to get there without an airline, without airports, without finding rides to or from airports and anything like that. I got a very severe lack of confidence vote from my mom last night about these plans. So I guess that'll be a topic for another time. The bugs are starting to get to me here. It's starting to be distracting. And it's almost 9 minutes. So this has been Liam from Base Dated. Thanks for watching.